Welcome back to the channel. Here you'll find the fastest updates on breaking news, shocking secrets, and dramatic predictions for times. The young and the restless. Who will betray whom? What secrets are about to be revealed? And what horrific tragedy awaits the characters in Genoa City? Subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us to discover the unmissable developments right now. Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is an absolutely wild day in the soap world, and we seriously need to unpack the pure, unadulterated madness that just went down on our screen. Grab your coffee or your wine, because we are diving deep into the drama. I cannot believe she actually said that. I mean, I am sitting here typing this at 2 a.m. because I am so incredibly worked up over what Jill Abbott just did to her own flesh and blood. Did anyone else literally scream at their television? Because I sure did. We all knew that Billy Abbott and his mother Jill taking a trip to London together was going to be a complete and utter disaster, but I don't think any of us were prepared for the level of emotional warfare that just took place on. Billy just confessed the whole thing to Sally Spectra, and my heart is completely breaking for him. He said that he and Jill fought for the entire flight to London. The entire flight. Imagine being trapped in a pressurized metal tube thousands of feet in the air with Jill Abbott while she just relentlessly tears you down. And it got so bad that they literally cut the trip short and came right back home. But that is not even the worst part. The worst part is the out-of-line, unforgivable remark that Jill threw in Billy's face. She actually looked at her biological son and told him that she wished Cain Ashby was her son instead of him. I'm sorry, but what? How do you even come back from it? You just don't. I've been watching this show since 2015, and I have seen some truly toxic parenting. We have watched Victor Newman pit his kids against each other for decades, but there is something so uniquely cruel about a mother telling her son that she wishes a completely different man was her child. And not just any man, but Cain, the guy who literally came to Genoa City years ago pretending to be the real Philip Chancellor III. Remember when they tried this whole Cain is the golden boy narrative back in the day? Yeah, didn't work for me then either. But to throw that in Billy's face right now, when his mental health is hanging by a literal thread, is just beyond toxic. So, of course, Billy comes home completely shattered and unloads all of this trauma onto Sally. And Sally, bless her heart, tries to play the supportive fiancé. She actually asks Billy if maybe he just imagined it or misinterpreted what Jill said. I kind of get where Sally is coming from because Billy is incredibly paranoid right now, but Billy insists that he didn't imagine a thing. He tells Sally that Jill has been saying this kind of stuff for 20 years of being compared to Cain Ashby. 20 years of feeling like you are the disappointment, the screw-up, the black sheep of the family, while your mother constantly praises a guy who isn't even her biological kid. No wonder Billy is always one bad day away from a total spiral. But then Sally does something that honestly kind of annoyed me. She admits that Jill's words must have been incredibly hurtful, but then she tries to spin it into a positive. She tells Billy that Cain can actually help him bring out his best quality. She says she doesn't see it as an insult and suggests that Billy should look at the comment differently, believing that his relationship with Cain could actually change him for the better. I mean, seriously, Sally? Are we watching the same show? How on earth is a mother wishing she had a different son supposed to bring out the best in Billy? That is not constructive criticism. That is emotional abuse. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take a breath. Okay, back to the point. I know Sally is just trying to keep Billy calm because she knows he is on the verge of a massive psychological break. We all know Chelsea Lawson is out there running her mouth, spreading those toxic rumors that Adam Newman might be the real father of Sally's baby. Billy is already dealing with the overwhelming fear that his entire family and future with Sally is built on a lie, and now he has to deal with his mother telling him he's a worthless son. Sally is probably just terrified that if Billy fully processes how much his mother hates him, he's going to go completely off the rails. Remember when Billy went off the deep end, chewing gum, gambling, and plotting revenge against everyone who wronged him? We are dangerously close to that version of Billy coming back. And honestly, sometimes I contradict myself because part of me thinks, well, Billy has made a lot of mistakes. He has blown up his life multiple times. Maybe Jill has a right to be frustrated. But no, you do not tell your child you wish someone else was, period. End of story. Because look at what it's doing to him. Billy is now obsessing over Kane. He noticed that Jill literally cannot stop bringing every conversation, every corporate decision at Chancellor, it all leads back to Kane Ash. And that obsession is exactly what is driving Billy to dig deeper and seek answers. Which brings me to the absolute biggest bombshell of all. Friday's episode just flipped the entire script on us. For weeks, we thought Jill's big secret was just some boring corporate inheritance. We thought she was just secretly maneuvering to leave Chancellor Industries to Kane and push Billy out of the legacy. But Friday's episode deliberately dropped multiple hints that this is so much bigger than a corporate takeover. The fan forums are absolutely exploding right now, and I am 100% on board with this theory. What if Jill's secret is a shocking paternity revelation? Am I the only one who sees the writing on the wall here? The show is heavily hinting that this mystery is going to solve a decades-long family story rather than just deciding the future. Think about it. Why is Jill so blindly devoted to Kane? Why does she constantly prioritize him over her own flesh and blood? What if Kane is her flesh and blood? I know, they did the DNA test years ago, but this is a soap opera. DNA tests get swapped, forged, and manipulated every other Tuesday in Genoa City. What if the real secret Jill is hiding is that Kane actually is her biological son, or that there was some massive switch at birth that we never knew about? Or what if the paternity secret isn't about Kane at all? What if it's about Sally's baby? Chelsea has been planting these horrible seeds of doubt, whispering to Billy and the rest of the town that Adam is the real father. What if Jill found out the truth? What if Jill ran her own secret DNA test on Sally's baby to protect the Abbott bloodline, and she discovered something that changes everything? If Jill knows that the baby Sally is carrying belongs to Adam Newman and not Billy, that would explain why she is pushing Billy away so hard. She might be trying to protect the Chancellor Winter's empire from falling into the hands of a Newman heir. I am literally shaking just typing this because the implications are massive. If Billy finds out that his mother has been keeping a paternity secret, whether it's about Kane being her real son or Adam being the father of Sally's baby, he is going to absolutely snap. We are talking about a full-blown, point of no return villain origin story for Billy Abbott. And frankly, I am here for it. I am so tired of seeing Billy get kicked around by Victor, by Victoria, and now by his own mother. If Jill's secret is what I think it is, Billy has every right to burn Chancellor Industries to the ground. I know some people are loving this whole Kane is the golden boy resurgence, but personally, I am sick of it. Kane has done plenty of shady things in his past, and the fact that Jill puts him on a pedestal while treating Billy like dirt is infuriating. And Sally, sweet, naive Sally, she is trying so hard to hold her little family together. She is trying to be the voice of reason, telling Billy to see the good in Kane, but she has no idea the storm that is coming her way. If that baby turns out to be Adam's, Sally's entire world is going to implode, and Billy's paranoia will be completely validated. Let's just take a minute to analyze the sheer emotional weight of what Billy is carrying. He gets on a plane hoping to finally make peace with his mother, hoping to secure his legacy so he can provide for Sally and this new baby. And instead of a heartwarming reconciliation, he gets a face full of venom. Jill basically tells him he's a failure. He flies all the way back across the Atlantic, stewing in his own misery, only to have his fiancée tell him he should use this abuse as a learning opportunity. I would be ripping my hair out. Billy doesn't need to learn from Kane. Billy needs a mother who actually loves him unconditionally. Let's really break down Sally's reaction for a second, because the more I think about it, the more it bothers me. Why is Sally Spectra, a woman who has literally fought tooth and nail for everything she has, suddenly playing the role of the passive? She tells Billy that Kane brings out his best qualities. But does she really believe that? Or is she projecting her own massive? We all know Sally has that lingering connection with Adam Newman. Chelsea is already running around town screaming from the rooftops that Adam is the real father of this baby. Is Sally defending Kane because she feels guilty about her own complicated past? Maybe she thinks that if Billy can forgive his mother's emotional betrayal and accept Kane, then maybe, just maybe, Billy will be able to forgive Sally if the baby actually turns out to be Adam. It is a wild psychological game of chess, and Sally is desperately trying to keep all the pieces on the board before Victor Newman comes in and flips the whole table over. And speaking of Victor, you just know the mustache is sitting back in his leather chair, swirling his drink and laughing at the absolute state of the Abbott family. Billy is unhinged. Jack is in a hospital bed fighting for his life, and Jill is alienating her only biological son in favor of Kane Ashby. Victor loves nothing more than watching the Abbotts self-destruct. If Jill's big secret really is a paternity bomb, Victor will absolutely use it to. If Kane is somehow the true Chancellor heir, Victor will manipulate Kane. If Sally's baby is Adam's, Victor will use that child to completely destroy Billy's sanity once and for all. Everything in Genoa City connects back to Victor's insatiable need for control, and Billy is playing right into his hands by letting Jill's words break him down so thoroughly. Let's revisit the history of Jill and Kane for a moment, because new fans might not grasp how deeply weird this dynamic is. Years ago, Kane Ashby showed up, and we were all led to believe he was Philip Chancellor. Jill poured all her love, all her grief, and all her maternal instinct into this man. And then, boom, it was revealed to be a massive lie. Kane was a fraud. You would think that a betrayal of that magnitude would permanently sever a mother's bond. But no, Jill eventually forgave him, and over the years, she has elevated Kane to this untouchable golden boy status. Meanwhile, Billy, her actual flesh and blood, the son she gave birth to, is constantly treated like a disappointment. He can never measure up to the idealized version of Kane that Jill has built in her. It is a textbook case of a toxic family dynamic, and Billy has been suffocating under the weight of it for 20 years. When Billy said she's been doing this for 2 decades, he wasn't exaggerating. The trauma is real, and it is deep. So when Friday's episode deliberately dropped those heavy, ominous hints that the mystery isn't just about who gets to sit in the CEO chair at Chancellor Industries, my jaw hit the floor. The writers are peeling back layers of history. They are telling us that the corporate war is just a smokescreen for a much more personal, devastating truth. A decades-long family story is about to be rewritten. Is it possible that the original DNA test proving Kane was a fraud was actually the fake one? What if Kane really is her son? Or what if Billy isn't? Oh my gosh, my mind is going a million miles a minute. Imagine if Billy finds out he isn't the true Abbott, or that would literally strip him of his entire identity. Everything he has fought for, everything he has lost, would all be for nothing. I just can't shake the feeling that we are building up to an explosive May sweeps, period. The tension is palpable. You can literally feel the anxiety radiating off the screen every time Billy and Sally are. Billy is gripping his phone, staring at the walls, consumed by the thought that everyone is laughing at him behind his back. And honestly, they kind of are. Chelsea is mocking. Jill is dismissing. Victoria pities him. The only person he has left is Sally, and her attempt to put a positive spin on his mother's emotional abuse was a massive swing and a miss. Billy doesn't need a silver lining right now. He needs someone to look at him and say, you know what? Your mom is wrong, and we are going to prove it. But instead, he's left to stew in his own paranoia. And paranoia is a dangerous thing. It leads to late nights, reckless bets, and destructive alliances. If he starts digging into Jill's past, into Kane's history, and into the true paternity of Sally's baby, he is going to open Pandora's box. I am officially on the edge of my seat. I need the next episode right now. I need to know what Billy is going to find when he inevitably hacks into Jill's private files or orders a secret DNA test. The fallout is going to be legendary, and I will be right here, venting in all caps, when it happens.